Om Ganatimanandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chaksurumilitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vande Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sajajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desa Tarane Dvanchakalpa Trubhyas Cha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavi Bhyo Namo Namaha. Continuing reading Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 30. Further features of ecstatic love for Krishna. Confusion. There is a following statement in the Hamsa Dutta. One day Srila Matarani was feeling much affliction because of her separation from Krishna. She went to the bank of the Jamuna with some of her friends. There Radharani saw a cottage where she and Krishna had experienced many loving pleasures, and by remembering these incidents, she immediately became overrun with dizziness. This dizziness was prominently visible. This is an instance of confusion caused by separation. Similarly, there is a statement about confusion caused by fearfulness. These symptoms were exhibited by Arjuna when he saw Krishna's universal form on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. His confusion was so strong that his bow and arrows fell from his hand and he could not perceive anything clearly. Death. Once the Bakasura demon assumed the shape of a very big heron and opened his mouth in order to swallow Krishna in a cowherd voice. When Krishna was entering the demon's mouth, the Balaram and the boys almost fainted and appeared as though they had no life. Even if devotees are illusioned by some ghastly scene or by any accidental occurrence, they never forgot Krishna. Even in the greatest danger, they can remember Krishna. This is the benefit of Krishna consciousness, even at the time of death. When all the functions of the body become dislocated, the devotee can remember Krishna in his innermost consciousness, and this saves him from falling down into the material existence. In this way, Krishna consciousness immediately takes one from the material platform to the spiritual world. In this connection, there is a statement about persons who died at Mathura. These persons had a slight breathing exhilaration, and their eyes were wide open. The colors of their bodies were changed, and they began to utter the holy name of Krishna. In this condition, they gave up their material bodies. These symptoms are prior manifestations of death. Laziness. When, because of self-satisfaction or dislike of excessive labor, a person does not perform his duty in spite of having energy, he's called lazy. This laziness also is manifested in ecstatic love of Krishna. For example, when some brahmanas were requested by Nanda Maharaj to circumambulate Govardhan Hill, they told him that they were more interested in offering benedictions than in circumambulating Govardhan Hill. This is an instance of laziness caused by self-satisfaction. Once when Krishna, along with his cowherd boyfriends, was having a mock battle, Subal showed him the symptoms of fatigue. Krishna immediately told his other friends, Subal is feeling too fatigued from mock fighting with me, so please do not disturb him in any way by inviting him to fight. This is an instance of laziness caused by dislike of excessive labor, inertness. In the 10th canto, 21st chapter, verse 13 of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is appreciation by the gopis of the inertia of the cows of Vrindavan. The gopis saw that the cows were hearing the sweet songs vibrated by Krishna's flute and were appearing to be drinking the nectar of these transcendental sounds. The calves were stunned, and they forgot to drink the milk from the milk bags. Their eyes seemed to be embracing Krishna, and there were tears in their eyes. This is an instance of inertia resulting from hearing the transcendental vibrations of Krishna's flute. When Lakshmana became disturbed upon hearing words against Krishna, she remained inert and did not move her eyelids. This is an example of inertia caused by hearing. In the 10th canto, 71st chapter, verse 39 of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is an account of King Yudhishthira's bewilderment after his bringing Krishna to his home with the greatest respect. King Yudhishthira was very much bewildered because of his transcendental pleasure at having Krishna present in his house. In fact, while receiving Krishna, King Yudhishthira forgot himself. This is an instance of inertia resulting from the ecstasy of seeing Krishna. There's another instance in the 10th canto, 39th chapter, verse 36 of Srimad Bhagavatam. When Krishna was going to Mathura, all the gopis were standing behind Krishna, and upon seeing the chariot leaving, they stood there stunned and did not move. They remained like that until the flag of the chariot and the dust thrown up by its wheels became invisible. Krishna was once addressed by his friend thus, My dear Mukunda, Krishna, due to their being separated from you, the cowherd boys were standing just like neglected deities in the house of a professional Brahmin. There is a class of professional Brahmins who take the deity worship as a means of earning their livelihood. Brahmanas in this class are not very interested in the deity. They are interested mainly in the money they can earn as holy men. So the deities worshipped by such professional Brahmins are not properly decorated. Their dress is not changed and their bodies are not cleansed. They look dirty and are not very attractive. Actually, deity worship should be done very carefully. The dress should be changed daily, and as far as possible there should be ornaments. Everything should be so clean that the deity is attractive to all visitors. Here, the example is given of the deities in the house of a professional Brahmin, because such deities are not at all attractive. The friends of Krishna in the absence of Krishna were appearing like such neglected deities. Bashfulness. When Radharani was first introduced to Krishna, she felt very bashful. One of her friends addressed her in this way, My dear friend, you have already sold yourself and your beauty to Krishna, to Govinda. Now you should not be bashful. Please look upon him cheerfully. One who has sold an elephant to another person should not make a miserly quarrel about selling the trident which controls the elephant. This kind of bashfulness is due to a new introduction in ecstatic love with Krishna. The heavenly king Indra, upon being defeated in his fight with Krishna for possession of the Parijata flower, became very bashful because of his defeat. He was standing before Krishna, bowing down his head. When Krishna said, All right, Indra, you can take this Parijata flower. Otherwise, you will not be able to show your face before your wife, Sachi Devi. Indra's bashfulness was due to defeat. In another instance, Krishna began to praise Uddhava for his various high qualifications. Upon being praised by Krishna, Uddhava also bowed down his head bashfully. In the Harivamsa, Satyabhama, feeling slighted by Rukmini's high position, said, My dear Krishna, The Raivataka mountain is always full of spring flowers. But when I have become persona non grata to you, what is the use of my observing them? This is an instance of bashfulness resulted from being defeated. Concealment. There is a symptom of ecstatic love known as concealment, or trying to hide one's real mental condition by externally showing another attitude. In this state of mind, one tries to hide his mind by looking away in different directions, by unnecessarily trying for something which is impossible, or by using words which cover one's real thoughts. According to Acharya's expert in the study of psychological activities, these attempts at hiding one's real affections are another part of ecstatic feeling for Krishna. In the 10th canto, 32nd chapter, verse 18 of Srimad Bhagavatam, 15 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami states, "My dear king, the gopis were always beautiful and decorated with confidential smiles and alluring garments. In their movements, intended to give impetus to lusty feelings, they would sometimes press Krishna's hand on their laps, and sometimes they would keep his lotus feet in their breast. After doing this, they would talk with Krishna as if they were very angry with him." There is another instance of this concealment in ecstatic love. When Krishna, the supreme joker, planted the parijata flower in the courtyard of Satyabhama, Rukmini, the daughter of King Vidarbha, became very angry, but due to her very natural gentle behavior, she did not express anything. No one could understand Rukmini's real mental condition. This is an instance of competitive concealment. There's another instance in the 1st canto, 11th chapter, verse 32 of Srimad Bhagavatam. After entering Dwarka, Krishna was received in different ways by different members of his family. Upon seeing their husband from a distance, the queens of Dwarka immediately embraced him within their minds and slowly glanced over him. As Krishna came nearer, they pushed their sons forward to embrace him. Others were trying out of shyness not to shed tears, but they still could not keep tears from gliding down. This is an instance of concealment caused by shyness. On another occasion, when Srimati Radharani thought that Krishna was involved with another woman, she addressed her friend in this manner: "My dear friend, as soon as I think of Krishna, the cowherd boy, attached to some other woman, I become stricken with fear." I must be very careful that Krishna not see me at such times. This is an instance of concealment caused by shyness and diplomatic behavior. It has been stated, although Srimati Radharani developed a deep loving affection for Krishna, she hid her attitude in the core of her heart so that others could not detect her actual condition. This is an instance of concealment caused by gentleness. Once when Krishna and his cowherd friends were enjoying friendly conversation, Krishna began to address his associates in casual language. At that time, Krishna's servant Patri was also enjoying the conversation. But then, remembering his position of servitude, Patri bowed down before his master, and with great respect and control, he stifled his smiling. This subdued smiling is an instance of concealment and a respectful attitude. Remembrance. There are many symptoms of ecstatic love caused by remembering Krishna. For example, one friend of Krishna informed him, "My dear Mukunda, just after observing a bluish cloud in the sky, the blue-eyed, lotus-eyed Radharani immediately began to remember you, and simply by observing this cloud, she became lusty for your association." This is an instance of remembering Krishna in ecstatic love because of seeing something resembling Krishna. Krishna's bodily complexion is very similar to the bluish hue of a cloud, so simply by observing a bluish cloud, Srimati Radharani remembered him. One devotee said that even when he was not attentive, he would sometimes, out of madness, remember the lotus feet of Krishna within his heart. This is an instance of remembrance resulting from constant practice. In other words, devotees who are constantly thinking what Krishna appearing within their hearts. Argumentative. Madhamangal was an intimate friend of Krishna coming from a Brahmin community. Krishna's friends were mostly cowherd boys belonging to the Vaishya community, but there are others who belong to the Brahmin community. Actually, in Vrindavan, the Vaishya community and Brahmin community are considered prominent. This Madhamangal one day addressed Krishna in this fashion. My dear friend, I can see you are not aware of the peacock feathers that are falling on the ground, and at the same time you are unmindful of the flower garlands which are offered to you. I think we can guess the reason of your absent-mindedness when I see your two eyes flying over to the eyes of Radharani, who are just like black drones flying to lotus flowers. This is an instance of argumentative suggestion in ecstatic love. Once while Krishna was out walking, one of his associates of Radharani told her, my dear friend, do you think that this walking personality is a tumultuary? If he's a tumultuary, then how is it possible for him to walk and be so beautiful? Then, this person, and it might be a cloud, but if he's a cloud, where is the beautiful moon within? Under the circumstances, I think it may be granted that this person is the same enchanting personality of Godhead, by whose flute vibration the three worlds are captivated. He must be the same Mukunda who is standing before Govardhan Hill. This is another instance of argumentative presentation